G'day, this is Detroit Become Human, and this is a quick review as I've just finished the game live on stream. It's an interactive story-based game where you, in 4 environments, you solve some light puzzles and you make decisions in dialogue trees, and they affect the story. They can make some pretty decent changes in the storyline. They show you a nice little flowchart at the end of each chapter showing the different things that could have happened. There does seem to be a good bit of variation in ending sequences and stuff like that. But the problem I always have with these games is that once you've finished them once, you never want to play them again. Which is exactly how I feel about Detroit, because I'm never going to play this again. And I'm never going to see any of the alternate endings apart from looking at them on YouTube myself. So, I wouldn't recommend paying full price for it. It's fine. It's just, it's one time done, and for what it is, it's only okay. Like, most of the time it handles well. These right stick interactions are fine. Sometimes it asks you to use 6-axis controls for quick time events, and they're terrible. Literally the worst design decision of the game, where there'd be things that I'd fail or have difficulty with because of the fact that it wasn't registering the 6-axis controls properly. So, this game is mostly a case of walking around, talking to people, and being prejudiced against, because you control a bunch of different robots. And those robots really want to be real people. Unfortunately, we're not real people. We are just robots. But if you can't tell, what's the difference is essentially the entire story of the game. You play as this guy Connor, who is a detective, and there's also an R2 characters that I won't bother to go into because their stories are not particularly interesting either. This guy is a hostage negotiator in the first level, so you listen to people being hard asses, try to find out information about what happened here and solve the situation. And then you start to investigate other crimes, robots going crazy, and there's a whole big thing about robots being free-willed, gaining sentience. Honestly, if you want to experience the stories that this game has, you should probably just watch Westworld, because the first season of Westworld kind of covers everything that this game does. And then the Connor storyline is kind of closer to Blade Runner more than anything else, along the lines of, oh no, if you're hunting down things that are alive, and It's not a bad game, let me say that again. It's fine for what it is. It's just that the dialogue is cliched, there's twists in it that you can see coming from literally 6 miles out, and it's not really doing anything super new. Like, there's nothing particularly original about it. Asking, hey, if a robot's a real person and you can't tell the difference, doesn't that make them real? Is not a particularly new thing in either games or sci-fi at this point, so it's okay. Like, the most interesting thing, I'll just show off quickly here, is the ability to use detective vision to reconstruct stuff, just like in the Batman Arkham Knight game, or Remember Me, if anyone actually knows that game. And you get to piece together timelines to get you clues and things. So you get to rewind time and change the camera angle and scan things in the environment to fill in the blanks. And then those little padlock symbols mean that you've unlocked conversation options, or things will change in later chapters. Like if you find a gun in a drawer, then you know it's there for later if you need to go and pick it up. But most of the game tends to revolve around holding down the R2 button as time goes slow and you go into detective vision. And you look for orange things to interact with, and you walk up to them and you interact with them. And that's kind of it, really. Like, normally there isn't time pressure, or the probability of success isn't visible on your screen, but often it'll let you interact with a couple of things in the scene before something takes over and carries the plot forward. But, I mean, that's kind of what these games are. They're interactive stories. At the very least, the story does seem to make some significant changes throughout as you go, but again, I don't see myself replaying this at any point. So yeah, I'd say if you like these kind of games, if you liked Until Dawn, if you liked Beyond Two Souls, if you liked Heavy Rain, any of the Telltale games ever, you'll probably enjoy this, and I got something out of it, but it's not worth 70 quid. Not in a chance. These games never are. So if you can rent it, do. If you can borrow from someone, even better. If you can get a good trade deal on it, do. But unless you're a real big fan of cinematic games, and you know you're going to want to try and see every single ending, then it's not worth full price. So yeah, I'd advise you to rent it, borrow it, or just wait for it to go down to like maybe 15-20 quid. Because I mean, I got about 10 to 15 hours out of it, so that'd be worthwhile. Otherwise, thanks for checking out my new review system.